In our last video, we looked at using this new notation, which was really just function composition, but it has this circle for our new notation. And we looked at both plugging a function into another function, and we looked at plugging a number in and doing composition. Well, it turns out we can get even crazier with this, and we can plug in completely, well, I guess it's not a number or a function, it's just some other expression, I guess. So watch how these are going to work. These get a little weird, but nothing too bad. So this time, I'm going to take 2a, and I'm going to plug that into g. And then just like we would do if we were doing this with a single number, once I plug that into g and get a brand new, I guess, expression this time, I'm going to take that and then plug it into the h function. So these, like I said, are a little weird, but nothing too bizarre. So let's go ahead and start with that. So let's plug 2a into the g function, and that is my x value that I'm plugging in. So I'm going to start with writing 5 times 2a, which I'm plugging in for x, and then minus 2. And if I simplify that, that of course becomes just 10a minus 2. And so that's not my final answer. That's sort of the first step in my process, because now what I'm going to do is take that, and I'm now going to plug that into the h function. Okay, I told you these were weird, but nothing too bizarre. So that's my new x value to plug into the h function. So 4 times parentheses 10a minus 2. And then there's a squared on that. So now I guess maybe the hardest part of this is going to be the simplifying. Maybe, I don't know. So a few things. First, I cannot distribute the 4 exponents come first. However, I also cannot distribute the exponent. If you remember what this means, it means take 10a minus 2 and multiply it by itself. So let's just write it multiplied by itself 2 times. So that's going to be my first part of the problem. I'm going to go ahead and just do that in my head. If you want to pause the video and try multiplying that out with FOIL or the box method, that would probably be a good idea. Or maybe you can do this in your head too. That would be great. So let's see. If I multiply 10a minus 2 times itself, I'm going to end up with 100a squared. I'd have negative 20a and another negative 20a, so a negative 40a once I combine some like terms, and then plus a 4. Like I said, if you are not sure where that part came from, pause the video, try doing FOIL, try doing the box method. You'll see you'll get the same thing that I got. And then at this point, I guess let's go ahead, I'll put some equal signs in here, go ahead and distribute that 4 then to this trinomial. So my final answer becomes 400a squared minus 160 times a, and then plus 16. So like I said, kind of a strange problem. We didn't end up with a single answer. I guess we ended up with a new function, a new expression. But we weren't plugging one into the other. We were plugging this weird 2a thing in. But whatever, we're allowed to do that, so why not? Why not? All right, so one more example then. We're going to take negative 5c this time. I'm going to plug that into g, the g function, get an answer. And then whatever answer I get with that, plug that back into g and see where we end up. So this one's a little bit easier than the first one, actually. So here's the g function. Let's plug negative 5c in for x. So 5 times negative 5c minus 2. That would become negative 25c minus 2, which again is not my final answer, but that's my first step in the chain, because now I'm going to take that and plug it back into g. I'm working my way sort of away from that expression, that negative 5c. So if I do this back into g one more time, I've got 5 now times negative 25c minus 2. And then that minus 2 at the end of the expression, the end of the function. So let's go ahead and distribute that negative 5. So negative 125c minus 10, and then minus 2. And of course, then if I go ahead and combine like terms, I'll end up with a brand new final answer of negative 125c minus 12.